Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jumpin here, and this is going to be episode 6 to our Fun with Guns series, where you pick the gun, and I use it, and I show you, and I tell you what I think about it, and I give you some really good gameplay with it. Today I'm going to be using the Javelin, which is a blacklisted sniper rifle. Definitely one of the most powerful, probably the second most powerful or the most powerful in the game. The harpoon gun is extremely powerful as well, but this thing is pretty close. So pretty much I'm going to go ahead and compare it now. It weighs a ton though. That's one of the biggest downsides to it. I'm going to show you the Black Widow weight compared to it, and then the, Widow. But now you got to keep in mind the Widow's at 10, Javelin's at 3, and the Black Widow's at 1. But yeah, overall though, this gun is pretty good, like especially on this Geth infiltrator, which is what I'm going to be using. Now I highly recommend extended barrel and spare ammo. That really does matter a lot. Alright, so let me go ahead and show you my build though, because this is going to be very important. Now you've seen the Geth infiltrator melee build. Now I'm going to show you the Geth infiltrator sniper build. So this is actually something I'm sure a lot of people wanted to see, because this is a good build as well. Alright, for tactical cloak, we're going to go for damage. Pretty general. I highly recommend this just because it's going to increase your damage. Then second is going to be recharge speed. Now this is a big difference from the other one, because you do go for melee damage on the other one. But with this, you really need the recharge speed. If you look, without the recharge speed, it's actually it's 12 seconds compared to the 9 seconds. You're going to need that 9 seconds, believe me, guys. And then the final one's going to be sniper rifle damage. This is also going to increase the damage of it quite a bit when you're cloaked. Now let's go ahead and get into. Now I highly suggest skipping proximity mine. Your power recharge speed is going to be too slow to even attempt to use it with the Javelin, and the Javelin is definitely the sniper you want to use on this guy, because it is a Geth weapon. Alright, for your hunter mode, I'm going to highly suggest power recharge. This is also going to help with the really bad recharge time for cloak, because you really do want to be able to cloak and shoot this gun. It's very important. You don't need power damage because there is no powers that you're going to be using. So I go for rate of fire. Now I don't even know if this works with the Javelin, but there is a delay to shoot this gun, so maybe this can speed that up. Don't really know. And then finally damage. Now speed and vision is also very good. Being able to run away with the movement speed is nice, and the vision is also going to help you out if you're a sniper, because you're going to see longer. But I think the damage is better. The Javelin has, I believe, like 1100 around, somewhere around 1100 damage. So 10% more of that is at least 100 more points of damage, which is crazy for a sniper rifle to be that strong. But it's one of the highest damage sniper rifles. Now for your network AI, you do not need damage and capacity. This does make no sense. So instead go for weapons damage. That's going to be the general idea of his network AI. It's just all weapons damage. You could lower your recharge speed with the capacity, but I do not suggest it. Now, of course, once again, you do not need power damage. It makes no sense. So instead go for headshot damage. A headshot with any gun does 250% more damage, if you guys didn't know that. So that raises it to 270% more damage. And then the final one, definitely go for weapons damage. This is going to increase all weapons damage by 10%, and then Geth weapon damage is going to go up to by additional 5%. Now for your fitness, just pretty much go for all shields. Now, you could actually also use the melee a little bit if you wanted to, but I recommend all shields just because it's very important with this guy. The melee is secondary. You'll see it in this gameplay, but believe me, you really need your shields. I mean, if you look, it's 1238. That's pretty decent. But with hunter mode, it's going to get reduced. But I do highly suggest shields for a sniper. Now for the equipment, I'm going to be using sniper rifle round 3, warp ammo 3, and adrenaline module 3, which is actually very important. Is the adrenaline, because you really want to be able to run away with this guy, because there is no ability to stun the enemy. So if you miss your shot, you want to be able to run like a champion, and you'll see me run a lot in this game. But it's actually not. It's not like a cowardly run. It's not like I'm going to be running away from the enemies. It's more of a tactical run away to reposition yourself if you miss a shot, because you will miss with this gun quite a bit. Not having the ability to stun like the Solarian Infiltrator has, and not having the ability to get your shield back, and him being such a weakling, you need the ability to move fast. Alright, so let's go ahead and show you how ridiculous this gun can be. Now this is going to be on gold. Any blacklisted gun that ever gets selected for this series, I'm probably going to play with it on gold, to be honest. So this is going to be Reapers on gold on firebase condor, which is the Turian Turian moon. Early on I'm going to be meleeing a little bit. The melee is really good on him no matter what you do, just for the ability to do it so fast. So against Husk and things, I highly suggest meleeing them. There's no point to waste a bullet even shooting them when you can just melee them to death. And you know, you will also get your 15 melee kills really easily for gold, and that can be very challenging to attempt to get 15 melee kills on gold. It's just, I don't know, getting close to the enemies is just never a good idea when you play on this harder difficulty. So it's just something to keep in mind, guys. So Husk are definitely really nice. Now right there I'm going to miss. Like I said, it's really easy to miss with this gun because there is a delay. So when you play with this gun, you really want to play with it in the sense that it is a true sniper where you have to really line up your shot, kind of take your time, just a little extra, because you really can't quickscope. I mean, that's the biggest. That was the only reason I never liked this gun, because I wasn't able to quickscope with it. And to me, I don't have fun sniping in this game unless I'm just quickscoping every time. Just the way I play with snipers in video games, I've always been like, well, not always been like that, but I've been like that for a long time, since like Halo 2. So, you know, this is how I like to play with it. Now, one very important thing I need to bring up right away is that, just for everyone to, you know, because last time I forgot to bring it up, but I think everybody gets the idea of this series now. Yeah, you guys definitely need to comment and let me know what guns you want to see in the future, or what gun for the next episode you want to see. Because if you tell me, then yeah, I'll definitely use it. Now, unfortunately, you know, I can't, this is a once a week thing, so because of that, you know, I won't, you know, a lot of people suggested the Claymore, and it was really close with the Disciple. The Disciple ended up winning, and then now I think the Claymore was the runner-up. So I might go ahead and just give you guys a Claymore gameplay if it doesn't get voted this week. Let's say you guys decide not to vote it or whatever, and something else gets chosen. If the Claymore gets, you know, I don't want to see that gun get second place every single week. So I'll definitely give you a really good gameplay with the Claymore if it is not chosen for the Fun with Guns. So just keep that in mind. You know, and any gun like that in the future, if there's ever a gun that's always in second place, or you guys suggest it quite a bit, I will attempt to give you a gameplay with it, just because, like, I don't really mind using it. Alright, so, you know, as you can tell, like, this gun absolutely does some serious damage, and that's the beautiful thing about this on Reapers. Two reasons is that Reapers don't move as much. The Marauders move, but all the other enemies are somewhat slow. Banshees can be hard to hit, Marauders can be hard to hit, but Cannibals, Brutes, Ravengers, yeah, you know, and the Husk you can melee. All the enemies like that, you can seriously do some damage to. If you can't tell, this gun can drop a Brute in at least 2 shots. I was able to one-shot a Brute with this gun on gold. Well, I wouldn't say one-shot, but I was able to almost one-shot a Brute with this on gold. And the reason why I was able to do it was because Envy, who's in this game, actually hit it with a proximity mine. Because he hit it with a proximity mine, you know, he was taking 20. He was going to take 20% more damage, and I hit him in the head. And when I did that, that actually, you know, dropped him pretty much in one shot. So it was absolutely crazy. We were both like, whoa, you know, we were both like really freaking out about that. But you know, it was really cool. All right, so right here, this is gonna be wave 3, the start of the pretty much the Banshees. You know, Banshees can always be a pain. With this gun though, I mean, you can do some serious damage to them, but for the most part, I'm gonna suggest not taking them on too much, because you know, like I said, you're just gonna have to be able to run away. That's why the adrenaline is really important. I really like this map for doing this now, because I was playing this map on gold a couple times with this guys before this. Like, I actually did a couple runs with this just for practice and, you know, just for fun. And, you know, I really realized that, you know, this is a good map for just running around. Like, if you were to do this, what I'm doing, and snipe with any sniper rifle, and just kind of with a Geth infiltrator, or with any infiltrator, just kind of run around the map. If you're more of that kind of sniper, because I'm sure a lot of people are, I've seen a lot of gameplays on YouTube of people sniping, and the way they play, they just take a shot and they run. I mean, I don't really like to play like that. And as you can tell, I don't really play like that even with this gun. Like, normally I just kind of run just a little far, you know, I just run a little bit away from them. Not too much. It's not like I'm going to run to the other side of the map, let's put it that way. But that's something you can easily do with this gun, just because you can run so fast with the Geth in Hunter mode and with the Adrenaline. Now, don't worry, you know, you don't need to worry about defense or nothing like that, because you're just going to be able to run like a champion. And the other great thing about this gun, like I said, is just the ability to take out these big enemies quickly. It takes literally 2 shots on a brute. You can pretty much 2-shot every Ravager. I believe you can also 1-shot them potentially, but that's a little iffy. And then you know, Banshees, it takes about 3 shots, I think, just, you know, hitting them. One thing I wanted to say, guys, is if you guys don't know this, Banshees they do not take any damage from headshots. There is no, like, it's weird. Don't ask me why it does that, but it's just something one of my friends was telling me that he found out, and I wanted to share with you. I'm not 100% sure if that's right, but apparently there is no headshot, like, extra damage for Banshees. So that's something to keep in mind, and I wish I would have known that, because I always aim for their head, especially with snipers. So knowing that now, I'm just going to aim for their body. It's just that simple, because they're so much easier to hit in the body than the head. Alright, so this gun, like I said, this is pretty much, as you can see in the gameplay, this is pretty much how you're going to want to play with it. Just to, you know, highly suggest the Geth, because the truth is this. You know, here's the honest to God truth with this gun, is that this thing does so much damage on this Geth. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely madness how much damage this gun really does. And you know, that's when all the weapon bonuses that he gets, you know, when you add up every bit of weapons bonus, I believe he gets about 200% weapons bonus when you're cloaked. That's crazy. Like, that's absolutely crazy, because this gun does over 1,000 damage. Like I said, it does 1,100 damage. So 200% more of that is 3,000 damage per shot. Plus, if you hit him in the head, that's 250% more damage. Like I said, I mean, these are some insane numbers to think about, but if you're able to pull it off, then yeah, you know, you'll have some, like, crazy damage, or, you know, you'll just wreck enemies like it's your job. Now, once again, like I said, you're gonna have to play very, like, smart with this thing. No, you cannot play too aggressive, especially with this Geth. As you can tell, like, right, you know, normally you can just see what I'm doing. I'm kind of just taking a position or some type of cover, not cover, but I'm standing behind something, or I'm on the, you know, the bottom of the ramp, and I'm poking up to, like, take the shot. And of course, this gun can also shoot through walls. That's another great perk that it has. You can this thing can, because you can see through walls, you can also shoot through walls. And with the hunter mode, you know, because I mean, it really just, it makes sense. Like, this is definitely what they were thinking when they were making this Geth infiltrator. Was to use the Javelin, because I mean, yeah, I mean, he can see through walls with the hunter mode, and then you can shoot through a lot of different walls or objects. Not walls, guys. You really can't shoot through walls, but you can at least shoot through objects and things like that. And you know, like I said, it's just, look at that. Look at the damage on that. That is insane. I mean, even if you don't get the kill, you know, your teammates can get it. I mean, they can kill these enemies so easily if you were to take them down to 1 bar of armor. Like, that would just help your teammates out a lot. It will help you out a lot. And you know, and as you can tell, I'm doing a really good job this game of staying alive. Like I said, that just comes from playing smart. You don't necessarily have to camp and run away the whole time to, you know, not die. Like, you can actually, like, play aggressive still, be in their face, and as long as you play smart, that's all that matters. One thing about cloaking in this game is that if an enemy sees you cloak, the AI is designed not to be absolutely retarded, even though at times, you know, the AI is really stupid. Now, right there, that's another thing I want to talk about real quick, is that if you have to, let's say you miss a shot and you want to reload your gun, go ahead and reload the gun and do his melee. That should stun marauders. That should also stun, like, cannibals. Any normal infantry unit, like, just do that move of meleeing, and then, you know, by the time that your melee is done and he's stunned, you'll have enough time to reload your gun and take out the threat. Like, that's pretty much a good, you know, close range with this guy is not bad because of his melee. That's kind of like the beauty of him, is that close range you have your melee, at long range you have the sniper. You know, hey, it works really well. I mean, you could, like I said, with the fitness, you could go for melee damage. I personally prefer the shields, but I highly suggest if you're going to go for melee damage, do take the shield recharge rate over the martial artist, just because you want to have your shields at all times with him. And, you know, if you play smart and at a distance, like I said, you should be able to get your shields back. So, yeah, just try to remember that, you know, melee from time to time, but primarily just try to use your sniper. And people will definitely, like, respect you more as a Geth infiltrator, if you know, if you're doing what I'm doing compared to, or using the sniper version compared to the melee version. Because yeah, the melee version is really, you know, I don't know, as much as I've shown you with gameplays and stuff, like I told you before, I highly don't recommend it. I can, you know, I can see your teammates getting very frustrated with you by you stealing their kills and going down a lot. Like, there's nothing worse in the game for some people. Not everybody. I don't really think like this. I don't really care when people steal my kills. I don't really mind picking people up either. But, you know, the thing is that some people do. Like, they don't want to pick you up, and they do not want to, you know, they don't want you to beat them out in score or to steal their kills. Like, people are just like that. I don't know why. But, so yeah, you know, when I'm playing with him, you're just kind of like, you know, you're just going to mess everything up. You're going to have people really get mad at you, pretty much. You just don't want that to happen. You don't want to get booted or anything like that. Like, that's just stupid. So if you're using something like this, then yeah, people won't really, yeah, this is a very, very kill-stealing, like, class. Because, you know, like I said, I'm dropping, I mean, one shot of this can kill or steal most of any kills. But, you know, it's not like going to be like the melee one. So that's just something you can think. Now, this cover right here is really good. Like, you might have to use this a lot on this map when you're sniping. But, you know, as you can tell, that was a really nice little spot I figured out when I was playing this earlier. Was that if you, yeah, got behind that one cover, like, the Ravager couldn't hit you, and you could just snipe him from a distance. Yeah, you know, anyway, so, you know, let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about, you know, this gun and the characters I recommend. Well, the character I recommend for this is obviously the Geth infiltrator. Like, that's literally the only one I recommend. I do not recommend any other infiltrator with this gun. Like I said, the weight of the gun just kills it. It really does. Like, if you were to use a Solarian, you know, you could energy drain. But the problem is your energy drain is going to be so long. You know, in general, like, just the damage you can do with this gun on this one character is very, very good. Another thing, too, is that if you're ever going to use a sniper rifle, you know, that has piercing already on it, like the Widow, Black Widow, or this gun, use Warp Ammo 3. Because what Warp Ammo 3 does is that it actually gives you 35% more damage to armor, where the piercing on the gun will pierce the armor and ignore, like, you know, so much of it. Like, I don't know how much this gun does, but if it does anything like the mod or the ammo does, it's probably about 65% of the armor, or, you know, at least 50% or 7%, who knows. But if it's any of those numbers, then yeah, you don't need armor piercing ammo. That would make no sense. You know, if you try it, you really won't see a difference in it. But with warp ammo, you will see a difference, because it's not piercing, it's damaging. So there's your difference. You know, any sniper, like I said, that has piercing, I mean, the snipers that people use anyway, 99% of the time are going to be the Black Widow and the Widow. Maybe the Valiant. But, you know, with the Valiant, you would want some type of piercing on that gun, just because it doesn't have piercing on it. But with these guns, and then the other one would be this Javelin on this Geth. Like, this is the only other sniper that's really worth anything in the game. I really do still like the Mantis, though. I think the Mantis is definitely still a pretty good sniper, but at this point, it's just so it's so underpowered compared to, like, the Widows and the, you know, all. I mean, look, like, this gun is amazing. Like, this gun is so strong. It's crazy. But yeah, you know, like I said, that's just what it is, guys. Anyway, so yeah, you know, the power on this gun is absolutely amazing. Like, that's one thing about the stats. Like I told you, it has 1100 damage on it. You know, the ammo capacity is very terrible, though. You definitely need spare ammo with this gun, just because, I believe at 10 it only gets about 15 extra shots, and I would be okay. I wouldn't really mind that too much. But at 3, which is what I have it, and at 1, you literally have no bullets extra. So you definitely need the, you know, extra ammo in general. And then, you know, besides that, though, you also are going to need a lot of, you know, you're gonna want the, you know, damage and all that kind of stuff. Now, one thing you can do with this gun is that, you know, you might think, and right there I finally go down, and I was very disappointed. I was so upset. I knew I should not have back dodged, because if that would have been, that's literally, I think, the only time I go down this whole game. And like, I wanted a flawless gold run. I just wanted it so bad, you know, because it's been a while since I've been able to do. I can get those a lot with an infiltrator, but it just wasn't for, you know, this wasn't gonna happen today. So whatever. Anyway, like I was saying, though, you know, like, you might think that the headshot damage would be worth it, and it kind of is, because okay, with the headshot damage mod, it does 100% more damage with headshots. So that means if you have the headshot damage from the network AI, and if you have if you have that, like I told you before, the default headshot damage is 250% more damage. That's crazy. Like I did not know it was that much, but yeah, 250% more damage to the head than to the body. So with this gun, hitting them in the head is definitely worth it. And with the headshot thing, it would be 350%. With the extra 20%, it'd be 370%. Plus, with all, like I told you, with all the other bonuses that he has, it's so freaking much. It's like 570%, something like that. So yeah. So you might think that that is worth it, but honestly, guys, it is not worth it, because hitting headshots just is not easy. It really isn't, like, you know, especially against any enemy. Now, if you're going to play against any enemy with this gun, like I told you, this is the way to do it. Now, one thing that just happened, which I wanted to talk about and bring up, because I haven't been talking about the gameplay too much, but one thing that really just happened that really was terrible was that 2 of our teammates just got assassinated by the Banshee. They got grabbed. So at this point, it's just going to be me and Envy left. And yeah, that is not a good thing. Like, having 2 people left against the Reapers or just 2 people in general on gold, it's just never a good thing. The infiltrator will have a good, you know, a lot easier time of staying alive, but any non-infiltrator will not, because, you know, when you're just two people left, it's gonna, you know, the enemies are really gonna focus just on the 2. And he's playing as a Drell. If he's playing as a Drell in this gameplay, so, you know, he's gonna have a lot. He's gonna be kind of like a weakling, you know, not be able to stay alive as easily. And, you know, for the most part, I'm going to have to play with this guy the way I play with him, which is the way you should play with him, is you got to just play smart and stay back and play kind of, you know, just, I couldn't help him out. That's pretty much what was going on. I couldn't really help him out right here, so, you know, I believe he's going to go down quite a bit. And I'm going to try to get him up now and then, but, you know, for the most part, sometimes I'm just not going to be able to do it. But anyway, guys, I don't know, like I was saying, if you're going to play against any enemy, like I highly suggest Reapers. Geth also do work well. You can also use this gun against Geth. It's also very good against Geth. The idea there is, like I said, it's just slow-moving enemies. Cerberus, nah. Like, I tried against Cerberus. I didn't like it. It was just way too hard to hit them in the head. Way too hard to hit them in general. You know, I don't know. Like, if you feel confident enough to hit them with this gun, yeah, go for it. But, you know, like, this is like treated like the harpoon gun, like I told you. Like, with the harpoon gun, I do not recommend using that gun against Cerberus. It's just, it's hard. Like, it's not as easy as it is against Reapers and Geth. Like, you know what I mean? It's just what it is. Now, right here, I'm going to get, like, totally smashed by that brute. That totally sucks, but I'm going to keep going. You know, we're really pinned in right here. We have Banshees behind us. We have Brute and stuff in front of us. Luckily, we were able to take them out. And now it's just time to run away. Now, you know, I really didn't want to take these Banshees out. Because, I mean, here's the strategy. Is that if you do not kill Banshees, they cannot spawn. God knows there would be like 15 more freaking Banshees that would spawn. So because of that, and once again right there, that was the little move I was telling you about. The whole melee and shoot. You know, sometimes you just, you know, you need to do it in a clutch situation, because if they don't have a shield, one shot of this gun should kill. Think of it like that. Alright, so right here, I'm going to kill this Marauder and then get him up. You know, I wasn't going to... Guys, the truth is this too on gold. It's very important. Is that if your teammates ever go down, you know, sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes you will need to kill the enemies first before you can get your teammate up. It's not a good idea to run in and try to rescue somebody and then you go down as well. I mean, it's better just to try to kill the enemy. They have plenty of time to, you know, to tap A before they either have to get up or you have, you know, it's like if there's a Banshee or a Phantom on them, or a Brute even, you just can't do it. Like, you will not be able to get them up. So do not try to do that. That will fail you the mission a lot of times. So just try to keep that in mind. Now right here, this Marauder is chasing Envy down. I believe, yep, he's gonna get him. It was kind of funny. Like, he was pissed, but you know, I believe this wave's almost over. So thank God about that. I believe this is the only wave where we're gonna have any problems, because, like I said, if your teammates get assassinated, it can be a lot of problems for you and your team. You know, but I don't know. Like, luckily we were able to pull it through. So. Alright, so let me get back to what I was talking about, which is just primarily this gun. So yeah, like I said, so my suggestions with this gun is this: play it definitely with the Geth infiltrator. Definitely play against Reapers or Geth, not Cerberus. And also, you know, like I said, don't try to use the targeting thing. Don't try to use the headshot damage. You know, if you feel comfortable, like you can hit him in the head, go for it. But you know, I just think the damage in general from that, because you get 30% more damage with the sniper rifle. 30% more damage on this gun means 300 more damage. Think of it like that. Like it boosts it up another 300 damage. That's how the modifier works in this game too. Whatever the base damage is, like I said, a good example is this gun. This gun has 1100 damage. So if I was to boost it up by, you know, 200% more damage, then that's going to bring it up to like 3000 damage. Yeah, or I believe 3000. I don't really know. Freak, I'm not that good with math, but you know, if 10% of 1000 is 100. So 30% of 1000 is like 300 damage. Just think of it like that. Same with all the melees and stuff. All the melees have their own damage, and if you boost them up enough, like one thing you guys might not know is that the Geth melee actually has the lowest damage in the game. Like, that sounds crazy that some people are like, what? Yeah, but the Geth melee is the weakest in the entire game. It does only 250 damage. All their heavy melees do about 500, 600, 700. The strongest in the game is the Batarian, which is 1000. So, you know, there's your difference. It's Batarian 1000, Geth 250. But it's all the modifiers that make the Geth good, and his speed of which he can use his melee. So his melee is literally the best in the game. Don't get me wrong here. His melee is definitely the best in the game. But it's because of the speed and the modifiers, not the base damage. You know, and if he had a stronger melee, then yeah, your damage would have been insane. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and rock it. As you can tell, this is wave 10. So now it's time to kill some targets, which is definitely pretty easy. And yeah, we're going to do this really ridiculous. This is actually really awesome. Check out how fast we do this. So I got the first target, then Dick's going to go ahead and take out the second target, and then the next target comes up, and like, yeah, boom, we got it. That's literally how fast you can do it if you can set it up right. We knew, me and Dick, like, like we kind of knew what we were doing here. Like, if he stood where he was standing, the target would spawn by him. If I stood where I was standing, the target would spawn by me. And yeah, boom, easy as pie. You know, like we just took him out in about maybe 40 seconds, something like that. So, you know, you just try to remember that. That is a good strategy. If you can kind of like think about where they're going to spawn on the map, if you just have the two people stand in the spots that you feel comfortable enough to take them out, then yeah, you can literally camp the spawn of the targets, and that's amazing if you can do that. Anyway, like I was saying though, is that overall, let me just go ahead and give you a rating on this gun. Okay, if I was going to rate this gun to 1 to 10, I would give it a 10 on a Geth infiltrator. But if it's not on a Geth infiltrator, I would give it like a 6. Reason why is because I do highly believe this gun with the weight is what really hurts it. The weight is just, it's like a Widow. This is what I tell people about this gun when they ask me about the Javelin. They're like, how is the Javelin? I'm like, it's good, but the weight is really high. Like, well, how much does it weigh? And I'll tell them, imagine the Widow plus 200 pounds, because that's literally how much I believe it weighs more. Like, it's ridiculous. This gun weighs like 300 pounds or something, but I don't know. But overall, like I said, on a Geth infiltrator with all the weapons damage, with like, you know, the hunter mode, with everything combined, and it definitely against Reapers, against Geth, this is a 10 out of 10. But against Cerberus and, you know, on maybe a Solarian infiltrator or an infiltrator that is not the Geth, this is definitely not a 10 out of 10. This is probably like a 6 or a 7. It would still work, but it would not work as well as it's working now. Now right here, he's getting grabbed, which really sucks. Oh my god, I feel so sorry for Envy right there. And then Standby is getting grabbed, but luckily I got, you know, the way that works, by the way, as well, if you guys were wondering about how do you break a assassination, the way it works is this, is that what you do is that if every enemy has a damage threshold, meaning that they can only take so much damage before they can stun. So, you know, don't think that a biotic explosion, I'm trying to say it right for you guys because I know I annoy people, but don't think that that can actually break you loose every time, because it actually takes about 2 of those to break you loose on gold. Alright, So, but here's the thing: if you can do enough damage in a short amount of time to an enemy, it will stun, and that's how you break it. So, if you were to like heavy melee a guy, or if you were to like snipe a guy, or hit him with a certain power that does a lot of damage, you can break the assassination because they get stunned. So that's how that works. If anyone was wondering. But like I said, overall, this gun is definitely a lot of fun on a Geth infiltrator. Definitely amazing on a Geth infiltrator. And, you know, as you can tell, we're about to get, you know, partial extraction because unfortunately Enemy got assassinated. But hey, it happens. You know, it happens to all of us, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this gameplay. I really hope you enjoy this gun. Like I said, definitely try it out if you have it. Try out the build as well. Be sure to comment though for the next video, because you know, just let me know like what you want to see. Like I said, if certain guns get picked a lot, but they don't actually win, I will try to bring like a like some type of video out using those guns just to give them their due. But yeah, so keep that in mind. And besides that though, guys, definitely please comment, please like, and you know, most of all, subscribe. But besides that, have a nice day.